Joining us now is a member of the House Oversight Committee, a person who was right there in that hearing, Arizona Republican Congressman Andy Biggs. Congressman, I mean, it was feisty, but what do you make of the chairman's fears that this is only the tip of the iceberg? We are talking about our tax dollars being wasted.
Yeah, I think he's exactly right. And so the way to think of it is in Minnesota alone, they were sending $1 million a day cash out of Minneapolis every day that was making its way out of the country from these folks. And we know that the Somali community in Ohio and Washington are connected to this. We have other states, though, that have, different demographics, of course. My own state, $2.5 billion worth of Medicaid fraud. Fraud is rampant in this country, and part of it is because you have massive programs with little oversight and a ton of money going out and flowing into the public.
Yeah, we know things got very heated in that room. There was a shouting match that broke out between the oversight chairman and Pennsylvania Democrat Congressman Summer Lee. Check this out.
This situation should be an opportunity to take a deep look at the programs and improve their oversight abilities, not an excuse to cut them entirely. If we care about the most vulnerable, if we care about the most marginalized, this is an opportunity to do so, and I welcome us to actually do that one day. Thanks, I yield back.
Ms. Lee, the IGs are hired to identify fraud. They haven't identified fraud. The IGs have failed. But anyway.
You all have failed.
No,
you all continue to fail. We've
failed.
done nothing. You've had the gavel, Mr. Comer. We barely do hearings on anything that actually affects change.
You
have power here, and yet you don't do anything.
That's a lot.
Well, I think he's doing something. You're holding that meeting right there, Congressman.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so every Democrat would start off their little statement by saying, yeah, we want to go after fraud everywhere. And then they would say, they would devolve into tropes like, oh, this is racist, or it's Donald Trump's fault, or, the reality is they could not take the facts. The facts were very clear about the data and the stats and the numbers that were put out. They did not like the facts, so they were trying to deflect. And then they would say, but you're not doing anything. Well, we can't do anything with a group of people sitting across the aisle who refuse to acknowledge that you have literally billions of dollars worth of fraud originating in the Somali community of Minneapolis. And if you say that, they go, oh, that's racist. How about let's just stare the facts in the face? They may be ugly, but the facts are the facts.
Yeah, and South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace, who was on our program yesterday morning, pulled no punches in that hearing while grilling a Democrat witness. Check out this back and forth on deporting Somali fraudsters.
Should Somalians who committed fraud be denaturalized and deported, Mr. Bayou?
Again,
yes,
I'm not sure that's an appropriate question because the majority of Somali
So if you
Minnesotans
commit
are
fraud
citizens.
in this country and you are here from Somalia, you don't believe they should be denaturalized and deported? How much fraud would it take for you to want to denaturalize and deport someone who committed fraud in this country? How much?
Again,
$1 billion, $9 billion, $19 billion? What would it take for you?
Congressman, I don't care what color you are. I don't care your background. I don't care your politics. If you're ripping off the American people, you should be dealt with.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the point I think that Nancy was trying to make is, look, people came in and a lot of them committed fraud to come in and become naturalized. If you committed fraud in your citizenship application, you should be denaturalized and deported. If you come in, you should not become a public charge. And that's the point that several members were making. A lot of these folks have become public charges in disproportionate numbers. And instead, we're here getting lectures about white men are the problem, or Donald Trump's the problem, or you're a problem because you're a conservative. The fact is, they did not want to deal with the data, the facts that were sitting there before them, which meant, quite frankly, it's unfortunate because we had 3 excellent witnesses who were testifying about what that fraud was, how it originated, and how Waltz and Keith Ellison, the AG, knew about it, and not only knew about it, but were not just complicit, but were actively supporting and sustaining it and protecting it.
It'll be interesting when Governor Walz comes to testify in February on all of this. Congressman Andy Biggs, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.